Hello and welcome to the Change Gang podcast with me, your host, Laura Ordile. I'm here to help you hold on to your sanity and your soul as you move through big change. I'm here to guide you from frustration to flow in your life, bridging the practical and the woo, just for you. Let's go. Welcome to the week, Change Gang. The other day I had someone ask a little bit about how to explain the specific work that I do in hypnosis or how it works with the subconscious and all of that. So I decided to go ahead and put together all of the little analogies that I use when I'm trying to explain simply and easily what that is and how it works. So that's what I've done right here, right now, today. So I hope that you enjoy it. And I hope that at the end, you've understood a little bit more than you did before. And I also hope that you meet me right here, same time, next week. But in the meantime, have a happy one and enjoy this. I thought I would explain a little bit about some of the work that I do. I'm a master hypnotist, and one of the things I want to start with is explaining a little bit about the subconscious. The subconscious is this wonderful version of our minds that comes in and it protects us. That's its main job, is to protect us. It's not always comfortable. It's not always fun, but that's what it does. Something that happens as we go along in life is from the time just before we're born till we're about 7 years old, we have the foundation. The hard drive is put into place for our brain, and all of the programming for our life, the foundation of our life, is put into play in that time. Of course, things are added along the way as you go and things like that, and files get stuck in files that get stuck in files, but they're always there. And so oftentimes as we go along in life, we want to make changes, and we can't necessarily make the changes. Something stops us. We're trying. Nothing's working. And so what I want you to know there is everything that you're doing is operating off of that old hard drive, that hard drive from those files from when you were tiny. And until you go in and delete some of those old files, maybe add in some new ones to get things running quicker, better, faster, you're going to keep running into those blocks, into those things that you come up against. And another thing that you need to know about the subconscious is that, again, in its bid to protect us, we come along in life and maybe somewhere at a very young age, a year old, younger sometimes, or even a little older than that. But let's just say you're a year old and your parents have a big argument. That's a pretty traumatic thing for a 1-year-old. And that anchors in a little point in your life. And what happens is the subconscious creates a little tiny version of you armored up to come out and protect you and say, I've got you, so that you can move on and continue living. And then maybe you're 7 years old and you get bullied at school. Another version is produced from that subconscious mind that says, I'm going to protect you, I've got you. And it goes out and deals with that situation and you move on in life. And then again, maybe as a teenager, something else happens. Same thing happens. You get the idea. So just like those little dolls, those little nesting dolls that pile up one inside the other, that's what happens. You have those little versions of yourself inside of you. And sometimes somewhere along the way, two things can happen. Often from one of those instances on, you might have a situation that you're dealing with throughout life. It could be anything. It could be anxiety. It could be a physical thing. I'm aware of someone who had a stuttering issue that started from one of those instances in life. And so it goes along, all along your life, and it comes in. Or somewhere later in life, something happens and it clicks, it flips a switch. And because of one of those instances, boom, something happens. You're stuck. You can't move forward. You can't function the way you want to function. Your body's blocking you. You might have chronic fatigue, IBS, infertility. You might have migraines, you might be overwhelmed, have anxiety, have anger, hypervigilance, all these things often put under the label of PTSD or CPTSD, or simply trauma. And you don't understand why all of a sudden now this is happening. But it's linked back to that little version of you. And I often explain it as if you had a puppy and that little puppy came up and wanted attention and kept asking for attention and kept trying to get attention and you didn't give it attention, it's going to go off and pee in your house and chew up your shoes and do all the things that you don't want it to do. It's going to wreak havoc, right? But if you do give it attention, you're going to have that amazing supportive friend all along the way. And that's what happens sometimes. Or you can also think of it this way. Here's another way to think of it. We have all those little versions of ourselves that are inside of us. We also know there's the hard drive, the subconscious of our brain, running everything, running our thoughts, running our ideas, running our physical self. You're breathing, you're moving, it's doing all those things. Now think about one of those little versions of you. I'm going to use a teenager as an example. Hurt, upset, angry teenager. If you've ever had one of those in your life or been one, you know the havoc that can be wreaked around you from that child. Now think about them running things in your mind. A pissed off teenager. Talk about wreaking havoc until they get their way and you go give them attention and clear things up. Oh my goodness. Things could happen, right? That's what happened. That's what happened. And through those things, that's how I work. I go in and through hypnosis and you going into a nice restful state, sometimes aware of things, sometimes not, but definitely never re-traumatized through the information that we go back and get. But through that hypnosis process, we go back, we do a little negotiation, have a little connection, give attention to that part that needs attention. And hopefully through that process, maybe one or two times, however many times it takes, through that process, you come to that agreement. And that part is either reintegrated, cleared, gone, whatever, however you want to imagine it. But because you've gone back to that place where that little seed was planted for the difficulty that you're having now, nothing along the way that's sprouted out from that is going to come with you, because it's like digging that seed out, digging the root out. So if you had a little tiny sliver in your hand and you went way down deep and pulled that out, no more pain, no more redness, no more anything around that, because it's not there anymore. All the symptoms are gone. And that's what happens in the process of what I do. Go in and dig that out. And so it's not just like if you think of it, also I'm great at these little metaphor things or simile, I don't know what they are, but if you think of it as that seed and the bush that's grown from that, some people will try to go in and they'll clip off this branch or they'll clip off that branch or pull some leaves off, thinking that that's going to take care of the issue, the symptom. But it's going to grow back or it's going to grow in a different way or something else is going to come from that because it's still there at the root. So you have to go in and give it a good yank. We don't do that in hypnosis, but you go in and you get it out. And through that, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. It's like magic. I love it. And the great thing about hypnosis, speaking of magic, the great thing is that it's not about you having to like go climb the mountain and dig your way through all the stuff and dig deep into anything and kind of go. And, oh my gosh, it's all of that effort and all that different. No. Hypnosis is like this little magic door that opens to a tunnel that goes under the mountain to the other side. That's how easy it is. That's the wonder of it. Will it be perfect and you won't have anything that happens during the time that you're doing silent hypnosis? No, you might be having some emotions as you're working some of that out, as that's being worked out and dug out a little bit. You might have, oh goodness, why am I feeling that way? What's happening? That's interesting. You might not notice anything. Or you might notice that, oh my gosh, I feel so good. This is incredible. Or you might have all of that. Because everyone is different. You are unique, my friend. You are unique. And you will respond in the time and the manner that is right for you. But you will respond. Because you're giving attention where it needs to be given for you. And it will take care of the things that need to be taken care of. How awesome is that? There you go. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you have a happy one. Ciao.
I hope today's episode was interesting to you in some way and fun. If so, hey, find someone to share it with. Maybe they need to hear it too, or maybe they'll just enjoy it. If you'd like, go ahead and grab my tips on supercharging your success. It includes a free short meditation to do just that. You can find that at bit.ly/supercharge your success. Until next time, happy day.